Get in, Dunedin! Get in!
Get in.
Get in.
Get in.
Get in!
Get in.
Get in!
Get in! Get in! No mai, haere mai, and welcome to Get In Oti-Poti, where it is my very, very special privilege to introduce a friend, fellow creative, and fellow student back in the day, Ruzel. Kia ora, Ruzel.
Kia ora. How are you, Brent?
Kei te pai aho. We've just left University College, and let's just stand here with it in the background, because it is a mighty set of twin towers, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's beautiful.
And why have we started walking here today?
Well, that's kind of where the whole show started, really. I have a set of brilliant actors who I conveniently met at Allen Hall and also at Unicol. So that's kind of where my ideas came from. I knew I wanted to do something student focused, and then I met a lovely man called Jackson Rosie, and I was like, hey, I want to direct a longer version of my short class shorts thing.
Now, we've kind of jumped the gun there, because I went from my introduction through my dodgy camera and we're talking about your show. First of all, tell us, what is the name of your show?
A Fly on the Wall.
And it is part of the
The
Dunedin
Fringe.
Fringe. And as you say, it's written by Jackson Rosie.
Yes.
Now, you've got some skin in the game with Jackson, haven't you?
I do.
Because you did mention short class shorts.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Well, Sarah and Blaze from SBZ
Yep.
are very lovely people. They are really cool in terms of what they do. So one of their things that they do is short class shorts.
Yep.
And Jackson and I competed for the shot glass, and he didn't ask me. Sarah and Blaze asked me to direct this show called Lola.
Yep.
And we won.
And what year was that?
That was last year, actually, 2024.
But didn't you direct another winning shot glass shorts?
I did.
Was that 2022?
Yes, 2022. It was called From the Horse's Mouth,
Yes, I remember that. It was at the Dog with Two Tails, if I recall.
which no longer exists.
No, alas the dog.
Oh, bless.
Okay, so we're coming up to the Fringe Festival, and we've just left Unicol, and you were saying about why Unicol is a special place for you in terms of your show. Can you take us through that?
Yeah. So I've always wanted to do something for students. I don't think Dunedin has a lot to give students. So I wanted to do something that brings them into theatre, that brings them into the audience, that shows them that theatre can be fun.
Yeah.
Because theatre is fun. And that's kind of how Jackson and I worked through things and what we did, and it was great. It was fun.
So when is it your view, because are you a warden at Unicol?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not a warden. Pauline is our warden, but I am a sub-warden.
Right, sorry, yeah.
Yes.
I'm just not up with all the terms. So you're a subwarden at Unicol, so you get to observe quite close up what new folk arriving at the university's like. And are you saying to me that a lot of those kids arrive here and they're not so down with the arts?
Yes, absolutely. A lot of them study health sciences or commerce.
Right.
We don't get a lot of people that, especially from Unicol, that actually study theatre.
Yeah.
Or that study anything to do with the arts.
Right.
So it's really cool to kind of infiltrate the system.
Okay, so you are sneakily and stealthily developing people's interest in the
I
arts. Okay, so this is the basis of your show that's coming up.
Yes.
It's called A Fly on the Wall.
Fly on the Wall.
And I was just reading a wee bit of the blurb, and it was talking about it being episodic.
Yes. So
Talk to me about that.
well, my idea from it came from wanting actors to be interested, right? Like, if we take the show anywhere else, like, we don't want to leave it. And if we take it anywhere else and we keep doing it, it's just going to get boring.
Right.
So, excuse me. And actors get comfortable.
Yeah.
So I don't ever want them to be comfortable within the show. Like, I want them to be safe, but comfortable kind of tends to like lead to I guess lack of awareness. It leads to, oh, I don't want to be in rehearsal anymore.
Yep.
It leads to, oh yeah, it's just another show.
Yep.
So I talked to a friend of mine, Taku,
Yep.
and he was really helpful in developing this idea of going, hey, why don't we do a different show every night, but it's still the same show.
Right.
So you do sitcom, but live.
Okay.
And that's kind of where that idea came from. So I talked to Jackson about it, and I was like, hey, why don't we kind of develop Lola, but into a sitcom? And that was really fun. That was really one of the best creative experiences I've had, was working collaboratively with him.
So if I if I can just ask a question and cut in there, this is your idea.
Yes.
You're working with Jackson.
Yes.
What does that process look like?
Well, Jackson is incredible to work with, first of all. Like, I can't imagine working with a different writer in that sense. So it was basically Jackson going, hey, I've got ideas for 3 different scripts.
Yeah.
Because my original thing was I want to do a different show every night.
Yeah.
And then he was like, hey, this is like a lot, which it is. Like, it is. But it's because we didn't really know yet what we wanted to give. Because that's kind of where everything came from, was we wanted to give back. And then I was like, hey, why don't we do like an extended version of Lola, but we chop it. And then we kind of like, each night flows into the other. And then I talked to Taku about it, and he goes, that sounds a lot like series. That sounds a lot like episodes. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
So if I'm hearing you right, it's quite possible for people to come to the show on the opening night.
Yes.
Come to the show on the other 2 evenings.
Yes.
And see the same show but different.
Story. Yes. Well, no. Yes and no. So think of Big Bang Theory.
Right.
Or Friends.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm watching 1 episode,
yeah,
and then maybe tomorrow I'll watch the next episode.
Yep.
So it's the same characters, but different storyline
okay.
every show. However, if you do come to all 3, you get a whole storyline. So they're standalone. You can come to 1 and be completely content, or you could come to all 3 and be wholly content.
Okay.
So
now I was just looking on the Fringe's website, which has got all the events. So, and that's just going to scroll along there right now, just telling you how to book to go and see a fly on the wall as part of the 25th Dunedin Fringe. Yeah. Can you believe it? And I was looking on to see who some of your creatives and your actors are. Do you want to take us through your cast?
Yeah, so we've got one of my favorite people in the world, Ben Seiden,
yes,
who I've mentioned before.
Yep.
I wasn't his direct subwarden, but I was his subwarden when he was in Unicol.
And you're still talking to him?
I'm still
well
talking
done,
to
Ben.
him.
You obviously behaved yourself. Good to hear.
And he's incredible. He's been amazing. And then we've had Monique van der Westhuizen.
Yep.
She also, I met at Unicol.
She's a good Twizel girl, isn't she?
She is. She's
yes.
from Twizel.
Represent Twizel.
Absolutely. She has been in and out of the theatre for a very long time.
Yep.
And you can tell. She loves it. I love working with her. She's incredible.
Yeah. Did she do National Shakespeare?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
She's amazing. And then we've got Ailish Wilson.
Right.
So we've had a slight change in cast.
Okay.
And she's going to play one of our main leads. So she's been incredible. She stepped up for us. And we can't be more thankful for her.
Right.
So,
isn't it great how people can just sort of waft in and out?
Right?
It's one of the amazing things about creatives.
I think so, yeah. Especially when because Ailish works in backstage stuff as well.
Yes.
So she was going to be our sound technician.
Yeah.
And then I approached her and I was like, hey, what do you think about acting? And she was like, actually, I prefer that much more.
Cool.
So that's been really nice.
Should we grab a seat here? Because
Absolutely.
it's just it's a beautiful Dunedin day here today.
At it.
Got the clock tower in the background, look at that.
Beautiful.
Okay, so it's a 4-hander?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
So is that everybody we've talked about now?
No, Ethan. Ethan
Yes,
Bremner.
Ethan Bremner.
Ethan's actually the only person that auditioned. So he didn't necessarily audition for the Fringe Show, but he did audition for the Shot Glass Short Show.
Yes.
Because I needed a character. He is a character.
He most certainly is.
And he's incredible. He has been amazing.
Yeah.
So, and he'll be joining us on this journey as well.
Okay, so where are you at in your, because you've talked about your writing process.
Yes.
Where are you in your rehearsal period at the moment?
So we actually are starting rehearsals on Saturday. So most people are terrified, I believe, which is great. You always want them scared a little bit.
Yeah.
But we've done a lot of work over Zoom and stuff because most people are still away.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So we've done a lot of rehearsals meetings and things over Zoom and talking about the script and talking about where they are in the script and what we want them to achieve at the end of the day. And then we start full steam rehearsals on Saturday.
And you are going to be performing this show at the Nat?
Yes. Yes.
Because that's a great little spot for students to discover,
amazing.
Isn't it?
It's amazing. I don't think I've ever had a theatre space that's so diverse, but also like so open to every audience.
Full disclosure, Ruzel and I are in the Impresaurus troupe,
Yes.
and so we know the Nat really, really well,
Really
and Ellie
well.
and Martin just make it so easy for performers to work in there.
Absolutely.
And I guess for students new to campus,
Yes.
we can often convince ourselves that our North Dunedin bubble finishes up at the Rob Roy Dairy, but it doesn't.
It does not.
Get into the Octagon and get into the New Athenaeum Theatre. So what are the dates of your show?
Oh, the 13th, 14th and 15th of March.
Okay, 13th, 14th, 15th of March, at what time?
At 10 p.m.
At
So we're actually opening the show. Well, we're not opening the Fringe, please don't think that.
Yeah.
But we are on the opening day of
Of the Fringe.
Yes.
Okay, so it's almost straight after orientation, isn't
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay.
It is.
And I sometimes think maybe we suffer a wee bit because of that. There's a bit of a hangover from people, okay, we've had Ori, now we're into our lectures and things.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe something for Get In Otipoti to do is to get out there and get
Absolutely.
people along in there.
I think it'll be really good for students, especially like to take a break from everything that's happened in our week and kind of like, I know for a fact that first week of uni can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
So this is a really good time to go and take a break and go and explore something. Even if you've never done theatre before or if you've never gone to a theatre show before, I think this is like a really good opportunity to go and explore that.
And the great thing about Fringe is there are concession prices, and for those of you who are thinking concession prices, that means if you're a student, if you got your student ID, you'll be able to get a good concession price. Shows
Very
only go
good.
for about an hour.
Very good
And
discount. Yeah.
So we've talked about the creatives, we've talked about where and when.
Yes.
Let's maybe talk about what you're hoping the audience will take from your show.
I think every option is there for a lot of people. So our audience, I'm expecting, is to be very diverse, but I do hope that we get a lot of students. And I think for students, the takeaway is, there's so much. Friendship, how important friendship is, how important diversity is, and that it's okay to be different. I think a few of our characters, some people might definitely not relate to, and then others they will see themselves in, and I think that's really fun, and I think that's what our actors have found fun as well. So I'm hoping it's no matter what happens, friends are always there for you, and that uni can be insane, but again, like, your friends are the people that are there for you. So I think that'll be kind of our main takeaway, I guess. Those are the people that drag you through. Yeah,
and for the high times and the low times, it's good to have people. And it's like I was out at a primary school yesterday for the first day of the school year, and it was just interesting to see these little new entrants. It's their first day at school, and you kind of think you only ever get a first day.
Yes, right.
My son and my stepdaughter both started new jobs on Monday, same again, and a first time, and
first
coming
time,
to uni.
yeah.
Because a lot of your Unicole folk, they'll be from
First time.
they're all out of towners,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Most of them are, yes. We do have a few from Dunedin.
Yeah.
We tend to. But a lot of them are from different places, whether
Yeah.
it be Auckland, whether it be international.
Yeah.
So it's connection.
So make friend with the Fringe. That's really what we're saying.
Yes.
It will look after you and
Yes.
nurture you every
Absolutely.
March. Particularly this one because it's the 25th anniversary. Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Have you performed in Fringe?
No, this is our first show that we actually probably said, yes, we're doing it.
And this is the Firefly Collective.
Yes, it's Firefly Theatre Collective. Yeah, it's our
And the
company.
genesis of that was Shot Glass Short.
was Shot Glass Shorts, yeah.
And there's a really good example of a production company, SBZ, setting up shop here in Dunedin with Blaze and Sarah, and already the ripple effects are beginning
Yes.
to move out into the creative world.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, because that's how Jackson and I started, was we won Shot Glass Shorts and we were like, we've won this a few too many times now. So why
Time
don't
to give
we...
someone else a go.
Yes, why don't we do something different? We want to keep performing, we want to keep doing stuff like this, so why not start a company? And that's kind of where it all kind of manifested, and it was great. It was really, really awesome, the process for that. And like I said, my creatives that I'm working with are insanely good.
Yeah.
They're incredible people, and they're very supportive of not just me but of each other.
Yeah.
So I think that's really, really wholesome, but also really helpful.
Okay, well look, Ruzel, it's been absolutely fabulous talking to you today, and we wish you and all the members of the Firefly Collective all the very best for the coming
Look at
year
that.
on this beautiful Dunedin Dunner Stunner day.
Absolutely.
We've got the leaf flowing behind us there, we've got the clock
Stunning.
tower, and I hope your Fringe is just as
Thank
stunning.
you so much, Brent, and thanks for this opportunity.
No worries, and because you've appeared on the show, you have to look down the camera, you know what you got to say, don't you?
Get in, Otapoti!
Get in!
Get in, Naughty Party!